when my parents would fight, I definitely took my mom's side until I got older, and then I saw that possibly my mom had, been annoying or whatever, and took my dad's side a little bit when I got older. But for the most part, I always took my mom's side because my dad and my mom was such a dick. And I definitely, these days, think my dad was a dick. My mom might have done some things here or there to upset him, but I think basically my dad had some pretty serious problems. And just, I don't know what his deal was, man, but anyway, yeah, I usually took my mom's side in the fight. As a child, I don't really remember. I don't remember being scared. I don't remember feeling scared. But I do assume that now looking back on it, I felt like I was in an unsafe environment. And I do think it affected me. I think when I got my TV in my room, it was my chance to escape. And obviously when I started driving a couple of years after that, it's not that I didn't want to come home, but, I guess every high school kid wants to be with their friends or whatever, but I just didn't want to be around, my dad, really either one of my parents, but especially my dad. But I don't really remember too much of that. The first time I ever stole anything, I can remember stealing some gum when I was a kid, and my mom found out. I didn't specifically think I'm going to steal this gum, but I just took some gum and stuck it in my pocket. I haven't really ever stole too much in my life. My mom made me take it in and pay for it or whatever. I've not really stolen too much in my life. The things that I've stolen are very minor, except for maybe some of the things I've taken from my parents, which I'm really ashamed of. But, one of the things, when I was a kid, I'd change the price tag on some things at stores, and that way, it was cheaper and I could get what I really wanted without having to pay the full price. But I maybe did that 4 or 5, 6 times. Again, not consistently all the time. I took some money from my parents here and there when I was in high school, but my stealing from my parents got worse as I got older, probably because of all these addictions coming out. But the thing that I really stole from my parents that I'm really ashamed of is when I was in school, in college, I would take classes, sign up for more classes than I knew I was going to take, withdraw from 1 or 2 of the classes, then have the money sent back to my local residents there in college rather than back to them. And that way, that was my way of having a little bit of money. Because when I was in college, I was completely broke. There's no joke, no lie about that. But, everybody's kind of broke in college, but, that was for sure the worst thing I did. I definitely furred away a lot in college. But I loved being in college. Getting away from my parents kind of felt like, an awesome feeling. It felt like I had a real chance in life to finally be me, and I took full advantage of all the things you can do wrong in college, not much of the things you can do right. I sort of feel like when I was in college, I sort of blossomed as a person. When I hear this fear stuff, I never remember thinking I'm scared or being fearful in high school, but at the same time, I never felt like I fit in. I always wanted to get out. And in college was the first time I ever felt like I really fit in somewhere, and I enjoyed it an awful lot. I think I was about 12 years old when I masturbated for the first time. I mean, I can remember doing it the first time, and you don't know what you're doing, but it feels good, and then all of a sudden you're about to have an orgasm, and you don't know what's happening, but you think something's about to shoot out of your body, so you don't know exactly what to do. I think the first time I masturbated, I enjoyed it, but it kind of scared me, and two or three, I thought it was wrong for sure. 2 or 3 or 4 times, I kind of reluctantly did it. But then after that, and you knew what was going to happen. It didn't bother me too much. And probably from the time I was about 12 years old, I just started masturbating real hard and heavy. Just, I can't lie. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, I definitely loved masturbating. I was caught masturbating once. My mom told me to get out of my room because she knew what I was doing. And that pissed me off because I knew, that she knew, but I was ashamed to leave my room. So I had to leave my room and just kind of chill out. But I think maybe after that one episode of that my mom finally kind of just gave up and said, I'm not going to... It was very uncomfortable, and there had been some talk at our church about all that kind of stuff, and I think she was doing what they told her to do from the church, but I think she just kind of backed off and thought that wasn't going to work for us or something. The question here was there any other sexual curiosity you were involved in? Homosexual, animal, any members of the family, sodomy, anything else? I can tell you that I have never really, a lot of guys, I'm just going to use the word, vagina or whatever. A lot of guys are just obsessed with vagina. Not me. I mean, my earliest thoughts are wanting to have anal sex with women. Not men. Definitely women. But I never really have enjoyed vagina. I don't like the way it smells. I don't like the way it looks. I'm just not obsessed with it like a lot of other guys are. But I guess you could say I'm obsessed with wanting to give anal sex to women. When I have dreams about sex, which really aren't that often, it's usually anal sex. When I watch pornography, it's anal sex. When I do whatever I do pretty much as far as sex goes, when I masturbate and fantasize, it's about anal sex. When I watch pornography, it's anal sex. Sodomy, anal sex is, that's where I'm wired at. I just am wired towards wanting anal sex with women. If you were named after someone, what was that person like? Well, I'm actually named after both my grandfathers. One of my grandfathers has actually got the same 2 first and middle names as I do. and was a different last name. And my other grandfather has the exact same name I do, but as far as I know, didn't have a middle name. Or if he did, it's not the one that I've got. So basically, my name is a combination of my two grandfathers' names. And again, I never met either one of those grandfathers.